Alrighty, we are talking about Sharxx Blue. One of my favourites, and probably one of many favourites. And so we're just going to focus on Sharxx Blue for this video and see what it's all about. Now I bought this at a cutting around about maybe around here somewhere. And so it's grown up that tall in maybe 3 years or something, and then this pup's come end of last year, and you can see most of that new growth there. So I'd almost like to say that Sharxx Blue is probably one of the most well-known clones in all of Trichoceras community, or everyone that's into these Trichoceras cactus, I'd say. Yeah, I feel like this is the most known clone. If anyone thinks otherwise, go ahead, mention it, comment it, or explain why you don't think this is the best. I mean, I'm sure there's older clones that at times may have been more popular, but I just feel like a lot of the community, when you say Sharxx Blue, most people know what you're talking about. So let's talk about the features. The spines aren't super long, but they're not super short either. But it's just enough to give a really nice effect. Like that, the spines add a beautiful effect to it. And then we've got the beautiful blue color. Now this doesn't look as good now. I'll probably do another video for the Sharxx Blue in, I don't know, a few months or something, when it's grown out more. But it's quite slow this year due to having a pup. But we'll focus on that in a minute. And I'll show you how nice that looks too. But yeah, this is all from spraying, and so it doesn't look the best with the powdery bit there from I think it's copper fungicide and whatever else I've sprayed it with, which I'm never going to do that again because it just ruins it. But yeah, so it gets this really beautiful blue color, and it just looks holographic with fresh new growth. It gets quite thick. And it will get this sort of checker pattern here, which I think, is it Althea gets that? But quite a lot of Peruvianus. This one's, I think, maybe John Cross Sharks. This one here, which is obviously quite similar because it's crossed with it. But and that gets the checker pattern, where you get there and there and there and there, and it alternates. And some cactus show it off really well, and this is one of them. When it gets some really nice growth on it, it'll do that. So you have a crazy super blue, and I'll just show you maybe down here. Like it's caked on, and a lot of people claim it's one of the bluest, which I would definitely put up there for one of the bluest cactus out there. There may be more bluer, or it ends up getting almost white sometimes. In like full sun, it almost looks white. Now, the pups on these things are just absolutely beautiful. A lot of the time on these cactus species, the pups are always the best. But the Sharxx Blue, like, it is just beautiful. And the spines on here, they're way longer and like just fresh, and you get the fresh spine growth there, the greeny yellow going out to like an orangey and then darker color, which is just, yeah, again, stunning and beautiful. Now I'll see if we can get a really nice shot here. Just beautiful. And so you can see the pup from last season grew to about here, and so that would have obviously bent over like that, so top was there. And then this is all fresh growth from this season, which is only been a couple months really, or a few months of our growth. So I don't know, maybe I'm expecting this pup to get about to maybe here, so triple what it is now, around about. So yeah, that'll be some really cool growth there. Yeah, but at the moment I'm not really looking much up at this bit here, because once they get so tall you can't really see the tip, which I think the tip's always the best part. But yeah, for I think the next couple of years really, my focus is going to be on this pup as it gets bigger, because that's what looks the best right now. Just stunning. Geez, I should have done some research on this one, but I'm pretty sure this came from, I could be completely wrong here, but I'm going to claim it's from Icarus DNA, which I know nothing about, which I should have researched that before I did this video, but too late. Yeah, Peruvianus, just beautiful. Can't say much more about Sharxx Blue, I suppose. Overpriced. When I first got into it, they were going for like $350 to $400 for a cutting, maybe there, maybe even less. Now I think cuttings like that are maybe 100, 150, and eventually they're just going to be like any other cutting, $50 or something. So, which is, look, good that people can get these beautiful clones for cheaper. Yeah, no, it's good. I think everyone should be able to get these really cool clones in their gardens instead of just people with money. But I'll be honest, like most of my collection, I started off by just buying all these cuttings. But it's how I got here, and I think money is good for the whole community. People say that it's a complete scam, you shouldn't be selling and blah 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 and all this stuff. Some of it shouldn't be sold for as much as it is, but the reality is it also invites people into getting into the community for the money, so it just makes the community bigger regardless of whether you're in it for the money or whether you're in it for the hobby. I'm purely in it for the hobby and the love of these cactus, because you know, people ask for me to sell specific ones and I just can't do it. I cannot cut things like this or that one, because I just love how they look. So I'll only really cut if I've got like, you know, 4 arms on that, I might cut one off for them, but even then I'm very reluctant. So anyway, that's a ramble on. So that's Sharxx Blue.